Meme, one of the hottest topics of the time. Yes, that's right. We're talking about how to utilize clout to achieve your dreams. Here's the intro.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Welcome, everyone, as we begin discussing the question of the hour. How does one achieve clout? How does one continue to chase it? These are the questions of our day and age. Me, I view clout kind of like a gravity. It's a gravitational force. It just starts drawing you in. What do we know when we get a super critical amount of mass? You essentially achieve what folks refer to as a black hole. Now, some folks would say that's a singularity. I'd say it depends upon your interpretation. All I know is if we're kind of viewing the universe as the hyperbolic figure eight knots complement, at one point you'd have a point where, well, there's a crossover, there's an exchange, there's a transmission of the hyperbolic vortex. Those are questions for another video. As of right now, what are we going to take a look at? Well, since we have the miracle of technology and the internet, here we go. As we can see, we have clout. According to Google, from Oxford Languages, clout, a heavy blow with the hand or a hard object, a cloud on the ear, informal, influence, or power, especially in politics or business. I knew he carried a lot of clout. Verb, informal, hit hard with the hand or a hard object. Archaic, mend with a patch. Oh, that's actually very interesting. I wonder where that's going to derive band-aids. Oh, look. Advertisements. From Urban Dictionary, clout. Clout is being famous and having influence. Wow. According to The Atlantic, why kids online are chasing clout. How did a word once reserved for union bosses get co-opted by anybody with a viral tweet? Like Caitlin Tiffany. Oh, she's much in the bag. Well, let's talk about the internet. The YouTube celebrity Drew Gooden begins flatly an 11-minute commentary video titled Arrested for Clout. Remember like 1,000 years ago when they invented the internet and everyone was like, this is awesome! The world has changed and nothing but good will come from this, asked Godin, who became famous because of a passably funny Vine in 2016. And now people just use the internet to get really famous for doing dumb S. Yes, I remember that too. As the video goes on, he becomes upset that people are so desperate for clout that they participate in a viral prank. In this case, licking ice cream cartons and putting them back in freezers at bodegas and Targets. Gooden singles out one teenage-looking boy for particular critique, noting he didn't even put the lid back on the ice cream. And that he is wearing striped pants Gooden finds extremely ugly. And his boots are also ugly, and that worst of all, he didn't even succeed at getting attention. If he considers the clout he received to be worth spending the day in the police station, he probably got a lot of followers, right? Gooden asked, prepared to look together at the boy's Twitter account. Like 100,000 or 200,000. He teases and waits. The boy has 8,000 followers, Gooden reveals. Gross. Now, again, I am not an internet scientist. I'm a memetic engineer. And, as we all know, clout in and of itself, according to dictionary.com, slang, clout, oh, the next is climax, and then clutch. I love this universe. Clout. What does clout mean? To have clout is to have influence or power in popular culture. People with clout are seen as popular and cool. Thank you so much, Dictionary.com. This is just such an amazing thing. From the encyclopedia.chicagohistory.org, Clout. In the mid-20th century, Chicago Rays coined the term clout to mean political power and influence. This political usage probably was taken from the baseball expression, "what a clout," which described a powerful hit. In Harry Gosnell's Machine Politics, 1937, a Chicago precinct captain claimed that no one could get anywhere in politics without clout from behind. In 1958, Irv Kerpesset wrote that defendants in Chicago's trials are found innocent on the age-old legal premise of reasonable doubt, not reasonable clout. Clout's association with Chicago politics was solidified by Len O'Connor's Clout, Mayor Daley and his city, 1975. By the 1970s, the query, "who's your clout?" questioning one's ability to reach and persuade those in power, had found wide national usage beyond its Chicago origins. Now, again, these things seem to come up. Why do they seem to come up? Well, as we know, within certain internet circles, again, strictly academically, if we're going to apply what we learned right here in the past 6 minutes or so, what have we learned? Well, apparently, it's the ability to influence things. It's the ability to mold and shape one's surroundings via your words and actions. Sounds kind of like being a wizard, utilizing your verbal and somatic components to basically meld the world around you. It's also what I told Professor Peterson at one point. I'm just saying. But if we look a little further into this, from Wiktionary.org, clout. From Middle English clout, from Old English clut, from Proto-Germanic gluts, from Proto-Indo-European gluts, from Proto-Indo-European gel, to ball up a mass, cognate with Old Norse kurt, kerchief, Swedish klut, Danish klud, Middle High German klols, a lump, hence German klub, and dialect Russian Yogurdia. See, influence, effectiveness, especially political, regional, informal, a blow to the hand, archery. The center of the butt at which archers shoot probably wants a piece of white cloth or a nail head. The internet is a fascinating place. Now, we look at these lattices. What are these? These are hyperbolic lattices. As we have before, which I totally didn't put any of the right links here. I apologize. I'll try to do that later because this is actually very important stuff. Shout out to my patrons, Joe Franco and Dave Emdo. This video is helped made possible by viewers like you. So what are we seeing right here? Well, right here, we're looking at different geometry. Certain folks have proposed, perhaps via loop, quantum gravity, or something, that space-time in and of itself may kind of look something like one of these woven things together. It's kind of like the trampoline model. So it's like, all right, the sun's like the bowling ball. You put the golf ball Earth, and it kind of like it goes towards the bowling ball because it's like heavier and literally bends the fabric. They're proposing this for space-time. I also say this operates within the internet itself, because let's face it, I think the internet is literally a place in and of itself. Some may say a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Very often, no one to tell us no or where to go. Oh God, I am terrible. I am so bad. I am not apologizing for that whatsoever. Now, we have different social communities. Let's say we tug upon this thing right here. All right. We kind of go over here. It's going to like make this loop go over here. Oh, we're bringing up this particular name. We know these people don't like this person. Oh my God, can you believe what this person said or did? They've gone beyond the pale. Ring-a-ding-a-ding. Sometimes cha-ching, cha-ching. Now, I'm not saying that's the only factor. It doesn't hurt, though. Now, if you can get attention from folks, let's just say within certain groups, certain communities, people that may have a wee bit of influence here. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you're like, it seems like these folks need to go through, I don't know, it almost seems like what they call a gatekeeper or something. I I don't know. I don't know. I thought we weren't big fans of gatekeepers. I thought that was the establishment. The great thing is, it's easier to get in contact with somebody. The funny thing is, when I actually reached out to Jon Stewart to see if he could make the rally to restore sanity and or turtles, because politics aren't binary, and who doesn't like turtles? It literally was like an email, like a phone call or so, and then he was just booked off. He had given that speech to the 9/11 survivors in front of Congress, and they finally, after, I don't know, like 18, 20 years, passed a bill to actually make sure that they're going to get health coverage. And then we covered the article the other day where it's like, yeah, a lot of folks have been dying from severe medical complications due to, basically being at ground zero when the towers fell. That is a thing. But as far as the community goes, let's face it, a lot of folks, it's what they used to say. It's kind of riding the coattails. Now, again, I totally like chasing clout. Like, I went to a free speech thing. I spoke right before Mr. Dr. Shiva. He, like, invented email or something. And then there happened to have a Mr. Sargon of a god. I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. There was a group of folks. I'm like, I don't see Sargon. Then eventually they asked him to come up the group part and outlock the Sargon. I'm like, that's very interesting. I'm like, I've heard most of his takes. I know what he thinks. So I spoke to most everyone else. Wizard of Oz, I think I was talking with him. He looked a wee bit chilly. I'm just saying. But if we just look at how everything's laid out, and just how it can relate to oh my god. Is that the Eye of Sauron? It's the Eye of Sauron! It's actually from APS Journals. I should go there and save that one for later. Now. Alright, we don't need any more music there. It probably sounded horrible. I am terrible with the chat and everything. But yes, I totally crave attention. I see you all there. Yes, Joe, a parrot head Lewis. I see you there. Oh, hey. Now, in order to properly clout chase, you generally want to have the appropriate language. You want to say the right things. If you say things that, let's say, they go against the grain, kind of like petting a cat the wrong way. You all know what I'm talking about here. People aren't going to take too kind. It's kind of like in a video game. You're going to get like some minuses. It's kind of like in Dragon Age Origins. If you want to have a player join you, have them do something for you, and including 18 plus type things. It's a mature video game, folks. I like dragons. All I'm saying is you just need to say the right things, interact positively, and then also reach out. This is the thing. A lot of folks don't actually reach out. And if there's anything I learned from Dr. Shiva, it's when I actually asked him, I'm like, what's the best advice you could give? He's like, half of life is just showing up. That blew my mind. Why did it blow my mind? Because I already knew that knowing is half the battle. You combine that with just showing up. If you know what to do and you're there, then you can do it. Why? Because we can. I think we miss that sometimes. Or sometimes we take a path where it's like, I can justify this. I can totally justify this. Why? Well, I don't consider this person a person. I'm just saying that if you view somebody as, well, they're not a human being. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to throw them under the bus. I'm just going to bring this stuff up here. Why? Maybe it happened a while ago. Why? Because right now, this person is very unpopular. And if we're able to kind of set up, I don't know, a Boulder Man, we could just keep on rolling it down the hill. I'm just saying, hey, engaging in capitalism. You totally have that right. I also happen to believe we should legalize dueling. In my opinion, the culture war is over in 6 months. I'm not an attorney. This is not actual advice. It's just a potential solution. That's all I'm saying. But hey, Peace out, everybody. Thank you all for watching. And no matter what happens, go throughout life, you're going to encounter many things. Some of them are quite scary. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Do. What rolls downstairs over and bears rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and fits on your back and slog, log, log. I thought that was a longer clip. Oh, finish typing what you're doing in chat. God, I love the internet. It's live. It's real. Some may say it's raw, but hey, when in doubt, go to your safe space. You all know where mine is. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일.
Have you guys checked out the Memes of Destruction's channel? He's an interesting dude. I like him.